Welcome back to some professional StarCraft to the ESL Korea Finals. I'm excited to introduce the Terran in this TVZ, a Terran who is likely to mix things up from what you expect to see. It is Storm Gaming's GuMiho. Yes, one of the most dynamic players. I feel like I say that about so many players, but truly, even he's kind of like Byun, but in a very different way. One, Terran players have always thought they can just play Mech and Bio. They should be able to play two entirely different styles with one race, and that's fair and balanced. But Terran players also think that having a 78% win rate in any matchup would mean the other race needs to get nerfed. So, either way. But GuMiho has his own unique take. The progenitor of the Hell Clone style, the Thor drops. He's always willing to bring something new to the table. Even if that something new is dying to Zerglings because you tried to do a Thor drop and he just had a bunch of queens in position. On the other side, the stock photo of Zerg Solar. He plays Zerg the way it's supposed to be played. Except for this game, in which case, you know what? I take it back. Against GuMiho, no respect. It's a pool first with gas after. So he is looking to potentially delay the command center. He's taken the initiative in game one here. And GuMiho did not SCV scout. Oh no. Uh-oh. This is not good. So he's going Marine first with no S. This is just great. This you shouldn't be able to get away with this. I do like what Solar's doing. I'm sure they play on the ladder a whole lot. GuMiho at the top with Solar as well. This feels tailored directly to what GuMiho likes to do. This is a big risk against someone who goes for like a standard SCV scout into Reaper. GuMiho just pulls the boys. He's not willing to let this go right now. Gonna lose one. Two SCVs. A third one targeted, but slips behind the lines, and the Marine holds. GuMiho stands his ground, and he drives the Zerg back. So, while a bit awkward, a decisive response, and he cleans things up. Well, what does that leave us? That's a lot of larva and a significant slowdown to your more standard macro opener compared to like a hatch first. At the same time, though, GuMiho lost a couple SCVs. It didn't really delay the command center. He doesn't have a reactor here, and he's sprinting into... He's literally going Cloak first. Cloak Banshee in about as close to a rush as you can call it. Wow, okay, well, I was excited to cast GuMiho versus Solar because I thought we might get something different than your high-level, entertaining, but predictable Terran versus Zerg. And here we are, as GuMiho is building Hellions off of a un-add-on a naked factory. He's getting a reactor, which I imagine is for the factory, and going Cloak Banshee against Solar, who started a lair and has it halfway done after a pool first. Is this a Muta rush? It really very much depends on what Solar decides. I'm pretty sure it's Mutalist, which is going to make things even more interesting. When you go for a lair this quick, especially after the pool first, you just don't have many queens. The staple unit, the bread and butter biscuit of Zerg, only 4 queens on the field, which seems like a lot, but 2 for inject and then just a couple to help drive back the Banshees on top of it. But there are 3 already in the main waiting for the Banshee, and GuMiho, well, no, he sees the lair now. Brenda barely gets away. Spire starts. 2 base Spire. 3rd command center and 3rd hatchery in production. GuMiho's adding racks on here, I think, realizing he kind of left his options open, and then he scouted the lair There's really no options for mech here. The Muta's this early, trying to go to like Thor's or something. It doesn't really work. At the very least, they get total map control. And even worse, like, the Thors don't really counter the Mutas until later on. So no mech in game 1. Slaps the barracks down. Armory on the way for Cloak Mines. I love that. Something that... Oh my god!
What a save!
He transfuses a drone. The Spire is confirmed. Well, gonna get a couple. 5 Mutas on the way. We'll have to see. Yeah, Solar leaning into it. 7 Mutalisks. He's not slowing down. It's not going to be just 5 and then switch into like a big roach push or something. No, it's Mutalisks. That's the play. He's also got a Baneling nest, so Baneling speed will start in now. With 2 evolution chambers behind. GuMiho has built up most of his production. They have 5 racks on 3 base. He's already pumping out a 3. Didn't start Combat Shield yet. Want to get on that. One of the upgrades that even the top tier Terrans forget way too often. Reactor exposed. Are there any mines here? I'm sure they're hidden somewhere. He did find... Whoa! Oh my... You see? Well, I mean, I wasn't wrong. Solar also didn't notice, okay? So, in my defense, Solar loses 2 Mutas. What is this? Cloak Banshees. Widowmine on this ramp. Wow, that is... Oh my god, another one! They're everywhere. The Overseer is not with the Mutalisks. Oh, another one! Oh my god! It is literally Minesweeper. Solar right now, not doing his due diligence, not right-clicking, putting like the flags up or however you play Minesweeper. He loses every single Muta. He lost 8 Mutas. He's killed 4 SCVs in this game. GuMiho just slaps the Mutas out of the sky with a fly swatter and a half a dozen Widowmines. The Marines clean up whatever's left to shreds, you say. And GuMiho has GuMiho'd those Mutas. That was all of Solar's early game investment. He doesn't have upgrades. He does have Bane speed. He's at 78 drones, but his army supply is pretty lacking. If GuMiho didn't forget Combat Shield, this push could probably be deadly. Unfortunately, though, that is the one saving grace for Solar. The lack of Combat Shield here really hurts against the speed bangs. It's going to make it a lot dicier pushing up into creep. The Combat Shield is on the way. It definitely could have been done by now. Still, has control over the edges. Solar went up to 84 drones. Wow. The Mutas are coming back. You know they're out there. The Marines microing back. GuMiho decides not to press the issue. He's already got +2 started. How many engineering base? He's so scared. The mines could be anywhere. That quick armory really paying off. So even when it's not mech, the mech units come through. Combat Shield now done. Only a single engineering bay upgrading. GuMiho built a second. He may have forgotten. I think that was the one he built to counter Mutas. Because, you know, like, whenever you, at this level, when these players have played tens of thousands of games, you have kind of your default. You have, like, when you build your Engi Bay, when you build your armory. So a lot of the time, if something crazy happens, they'll forget. They'll forget that they already have, like a Dark Shrine or an armory or a Baneling nest even. And then just get another one, because now's the time, right? Well, Queens absolutely murdered as they went down the wrong ramp and came to the wrong neighborhood, which is apparently the rest of the map. We're only 10 minutes in. Both players nearly maxed out, despite all the early game shenanigans, despite the loss of 8 Mutalisks. Solar has 86 drones, Hive on the way to 2 in production. The Muta count up to 14, nearly enough. To one-shot medevacs, that should be enough with +1 flyer to one-shot mines. It's like 14 or 15. The turret's also struggling to keep it together. He's just fighting the SCV's heads up. GuMiho's actually scrambling back with some of his units, but he has another attack on the right flank. Reactors being targeted. The turret held the line. Just a handful of Marines out here. The Widow Mine's lurking. Another turret. Repairs good. Trying to draw the mines. Actually, I don't think he was trying to draw the mines. He just lost the Muta. Oh, there's another. Well, the Lings and Banes overrunning the front. Could have been worse. There's mines everywhere. GuMiho playing the Hedgehog Terran here. Gotta be careful, it's prickly. Right? That's what hedgehogs are, the prickly ones, right? I'm pretty sure. I'm not a hedgehog expert. I'm not a hoghead, if you would. No, moving on. Winter, you're boring me with these now. Stop it. Mines, still, the mines look so weird. There's some graphical, they burrow into the staircase here. This is how GuMiho truly climbs the ladder. The Banelings crash into Marauders, not efficient, but effective enough. Another round of Lings and Banes crashing through the front line. Bermuda's nowhere to be seen right now. The Lings and Banes, not enough, and GuMiho collapses in and is tearing through the front all the way into the hatchery. Oh, another round of Banes, another wave. The Muta's getting what they can, but it's not enough. GuMiho coming in again. Another wave of Banelings, the last one at this rate. The hatchery being targeted. Marines stim again. Split behind the Marauders. Banelings force the spread. Widowmine connects. Splash damage onto the Mutas, but there's not enough left. GuMiho driven back by the third wave of Mutaslings and Banes. Solar holds. Oh, that was close. But Solar holds with his hatchery intact, with minimal losses to his drones, and with a hive done, adrenal glands on the way, 3-3 started, +2 flyer attack. Wow, that got very close to cutting past the surface. GuMiho with just a superficial attack at the end of the day. The big win, though, is the creep. If nothing else, GuMiho can be satisfied he pushed the creep all the way back to the hatch, which is just going to make any follow-ups that much easier. GuMiho does get baited back by just a small group of Zerglings that target down the turret. GuMiho definitely leaning on the select all army hotkey a bit here. We've all done it. Okay. Even the pros. Marauder stimming in again. He's working that same angle. A round of Banelings. The Zerglings that escape just crashing through. Banelings getting a lot of damage done, but the hatchery goes down on the right flank. I said we weren't going to see like a predictable standard TVC, but here we are. I mean, the most fun, the Mutiling Bling versus the Marine Marauder medevac. And right now, Solar with a big counter. He loses that key hatch on the other side. No drilling claws for the mine. GuMiho's been relying on them being placed well before the battle. So many Lings and Banes, but GuMiho's army supply is larger than Solar can even get conventionally. 140. He's only got 55 SCVs. Solar may have helped him out temporarily, economically. Or not economically, in terms of army supply. The other way, you know what? Just put the graph up. Ooh. Well, doesn't matter if you still have 200 supply on the field, so. 3-3, not yet done for Solar. Very done for GuMiho, and that could make the difference in this fight. The Marines at the back line able to gun down the Mutalisk. The Mines clear out the Banes. An Ultralisk is done. Chitinous plating is complete. GuMiho stuck in the corner, but this isn't the whole story. Despite the fact the Banelings are crashing through, GuMiho takes the 12 o'clock base. And with it, a lot of Solar's active economy. The medevacs are able to escape with less units than the number of medevacs. Another hatchery is knocked out. And while Solar takes a step forward and snaps up the Terran army, he has to take 2 steps back in terms of hatcheries. Solar. If you're going to play this inefficient, this attrition-based Zerg style, you gotta keep the economy up. You have to be able to fund it. Alright, you can't take out a small loan of 1 million minerals here. It's not gonna work out. He has to be able to compete with a less efficient, but just more economically effective army. But he doesn't have that. GuMiho has made all the right moves, even if his micro hasn't been quite enough to break through. And that is just so much Terran here. 1 or 2 Ultralisks could easily be targeted down. No need for ghosts. Just the big beefy Marauders blasting through right now, and the Marines behind. Cut down the Queens and GuMiho. Game 1. Ooh, GuMiho with some real solid tactical Terran there. Handling it like he has his own twist on it. He loves the mines. I don't go out of my way to find it's like a loot box for me as a caster. Okay? I like to get surprised by the mines alongside the person getting hit by them. Because that way I don't feel so bad about when it happens in my ladder games. So whenever Solar flies over one of those mines hidden behind a reactor, refinery, or inside of a staircase or something, I'm like, ah, ha, ha. It's not just me. Looks like everybody's disgusted with this matchup so far. Get them out of the game. Game 2's on Moondance. We'll stick around, though. Like and subscribe. Looking, I guess, for any SCVs out there. Solar just not able to keep up. He tried to bamboozle GuMiho. Okay? He tried to sneak up on him with those Zerglings, and he followed up with the Lisks. But GuMiho wasn't having it. From the very start, and now this is the key. The confidence is key in with all the races. In all of StarCraft, confidence is everything. And by everything, I mean appropriate. Like, you can't just be like, I can beat Serral. Like, if I say I can beat Serral, I have the Marine splits. That's not going to work out. You got to back it up. But you have to know if you're going to win a fight. Like, GuMiho in the early game there, with pulling the SCVs, no hesitation. He knew what he was looking at. He made the decision immediately, and it paid off. Because even though he lost a couple SCVs, what Solar was trying to do was delay the command center and throw GuMiho's build off. GuMiho said, I'm pulling the SCVs, we're going. Same thing with the mutas. He's like, I know how to handle this. We're not going to let it really set me back. He only made like 1 or 2 turrets and then just scattered the mines around and ended up gunning the mutas down. Oh my god. The long jump reaper. Looking. Occasionally you'll get someone who tries a hatch, but... Ooh, second Rex. Alright. Now, Solar, remember that was an awkward and kind of disjointed start for Solar. In a more standard macro game, I would put Solar favored against all but a low single-digit number of Terrans. That being Maru, which is a very low single-digit number. So, yeah, that's the end of the list, pretty much. Like, everyone else is even or maybe a little bit of an underdog. It's a 2-on-1, by the way. I think Solar just saw it. Yeah, he saw it. The old school, probably the oldest modern build that is still occasionally used. The 2 barracks, 1 factory, 1 starport, 16 marine medevac drop. A classic at this point, a vintage build. Still good. I feel like it kind of fell out of style because Zergs got so good at just shutting it down. But on Moondance especially, where you have just the sheer... Look at the size of that main base. And the fact that Solar took the triangle third here, the one in front of his main. If those medevacs are able to get up into this position, right around the third, he can threaten 2 bases with almost equal strength. those medevacs can become a massive spike in Solar side. Now, of course, if it's not what I described and it's something different, and he just does a frontal push with Hellbats, then everything I just said no longer really applies. So let's throw that out the window. If there's one player I trust to use early game Hellbats, it's GuMiho. Okay? I'm gonna give him a pass on this one. You guys know my strong feelings about watching early game Hellbat pushes just kind of die. It feels like every Terran player needs to, at least like once a month, do a Hellbat push, have it fail horribly, and then move on with their life. Like, well, now there is stim. There's a lot of Marines. It's not just like 6 Hellbats and a medevac. The Marines are a huge kicker here. In fact, the Marines are the brunt of this. The Hellbats are just the tanks in the front. There's a lot of queens. Solar's got 8 queens. He's got to bring the queen moot together. Targeting the medevac right off the back. Stim already used. Baneling's on the way. Stimming in. One. Nope. Nope, nothing yet. The queen's still intact here. Baneling's about to complete. That Baneling that's finishing just in time. The medevac vulnerable. And, yep. It looks like it's that time of the month again. Well, now GuMiho is down 18 workers. He has no upgrades besides combat shield on the way. I guess he kept his medevac intact, but like, what did he get? He got 1 queen and 23 lings. Well, here we are. Not to say I told you so, but you know, we really gotta script something different. Don't you dare fly into that Spore Crow. Well, that was probably the best case scenario for the Hellbats there. Just dying before they could get out of the medevac. That was about as effective as they were ever gonna be. GuMiho's sending out, like, campaign-level squads of units here. Thing is, without lair tech, without, like, mutas, and because the queens have to be consolidated against the Hellbats, GuMiho's still making do. He's getting a lot done with a little here. And we saw in the last game he was really good about oh my god, it's Flex Terran. Oh, it's a Biocurious build. He's taking the wheel here, and he's swerving into mech, okay? Like, we're going back. He's got the armory. He's going from the medevacs with the stim and combat shield into mech. All right, GuMiho. He's still building Marines, but he's kind of easing into it. He's drifting into mech right now. +1 mech weapons is on the way. There are no infantry weapons to back this up. He gets another cancel on the 4th. This is a huge deal. The 4th base is not important so much for minerals and gas. For larva. And is that a fusion core? And that may very well be for Battlecruisers. Welcome to GuMiho. The savior. The last Mech Terran. At least reliably. He's back. 2 fusion. Okay, that's maybe a bit much. Okay, so 2 fusion cores. And 2 engineer. What? GuMiho. Now he's just pressing buttons. I don't know. He canceled the other fusion core, but that's how that's how much he wanted the fusion core. No. This is not for liberators. This, I am 69% sure this is Battlecruisers. Like, this is a Battlecruiser follow-up. Because he does not have a reactored starport. Yeah. Yamato cannon! Before the Battlecruiser! GuMiho! He's up 1-0, he's going for it. Yeah. There you go. You've never seen battlecruisers like this at this level, at least. Maru, sure, he might open battlecruisers, he might go mech. Same goes for almost any other Terran. Nope. Oh. I just had to put a punctuation mark on that. I slapped the edge of the numpad. And the only reason I have a keyboard with a numpad is for observing with camera locations, but occasionally it comes back to bite me. I'm a professional. Please like and subscribe. So the downside to this is GuMiho is spending all of his money on upgrades and infrastructure. If Solar just maxes out and attacks, GuMiho may very well just die, and that would be very anticlimactic. I think Solar has to be a little confused. I think the reason Solar hasn't just maxed out and attacked is he's like, wait a sec, are those... Wait, do you have a Raven now? Like, who does that?
Who does that?
Like, who goes multiple medevac drop, Marines with stim, into Raven Hellion? But wait, there's more. A battlecruiser jumped to the other side of the map, putting that tactical jump on cooldown, but recharging it. He's just got, instead of medevac drops, have you tried battlecruiser drops? The battlecruiser's gonna show up, and Solar gonna be like... There's a Spire on the way. There's just a battlecruiser now. The tank, there's a tank on the low ground. Marines just to draw fire into the tanks. Or to draw... Oh, anti-armor missile. Dorito dusting those banelings. Looks like Solar's just gonna go for the big break here. Another Dorito dust. The Hellbats, well spread. The tanks. The tanks don't have that much in front of them. Could use a battle cruiser. Well, I mean, this is a bit of what I was afraid of, which is GuMiho just kind of dying because he spent his money on, like, everything but units. And, yeah, well, yeah, Solar kind of... So, in the great words of Day 9, one of the top 3 brothers of Tasteless, when he's doing something weird, just go fucking kill him. So, Solar, yeah, 30 SCVs is not an insubstantial number, and Solar's economy is untouched. He can do it again, and he will. No matter how many Widow Mines, like, this is not last game. There is no saving grace. There is no... Yeah, he's super dead. Well, I do appreciate... Like, we all gotta step back and appreciate what GuMiho did there. But at the same time, there's a reason why people don't just go, like, 2 barracks Marine into, you know, everything else. I don't... So that we're all tied up. That was a bit of a reach there from GuMiho. Well, but if you want something spicy, I'll give you the next game. Game 3 on Data C. This would be the battlecruiser map. Yeah, the thing is, though, I think if he had just swerved into mech, that could have panned out. The battlecruiser, and remember, he already had a Ghost Academy and was upgrading infantry weapons for his ghosts. But he never built any ghosts, because you can't go battlecruiser, tank, like, and mech upgrades, and battlecruiser upgrades, and build units, and ghost upgrades, and ghosts on like 3.5 bases. You can't do it. All right.
The numbers don't lie, and they spell disaster for you.
Write that down. We'll start checking things off of what you can do. Is this where Solar puts his first Ovi? Ooh. And he's doing the, he's putting it along the high ground area as well. Interesting. He's looking a little for proxy racks. Interesting. The crab beetle, keeping an eye on it. Not that interesting, like mildly interesting. Make no mistake, GuMiho does have a tendency, it seems, to make that Marine first as well. Wow, Solar knows what he's about. GuMiho was looking for the O. He skipped the Reaper, and he went for Marines, which part of the, like, maybe not their main goal, but part of the intent is to shut down the early Ovis, which helps you hide whatever you're following it up with. But Solar has already, like, they're not going to find it. They can't see it. It's on the pervert plateau here in the center. Solar taking the triangle base. He has a tendency to do that. Last week, literally last week, Solar just spamming these finals, but last week Solar played on this map against Byun, and Byun just kept hammering him with medevacs from this angle. Just back and forth and back and forth. But that's kind of Byun's thing. And Solar, that was the only game Solar ended up losing, was D to C, getting outmaneuvered by medevacs. It looks like it. Don't do it. Don't you dare build that armory, GuMiho. I want you to win this series. Okay, Solar can't keep winning these. People are going to think Zerg is actually good. Okay. Wait, what? Tech map. He's like, now watch my Cyclone Micro. That's probably for the starport, but you never know. Oh my god, wait, what? What? What is this reactor for? I'm so confused. Is that just for barracks? Okay. So, just a more standard 3 racks, but because it's GuMiho, I got baited into thinking it was some crazy build. Two base, 3 racks. Not super all in, unless he adds racks 4 and 5. But at the same time, does have to get some damage done before Solar gets to like 60-something drones. Otherwise, it's very easy for Zerg to just consolidate map control and run away with it. He finds and kills the Ovi. He knew if it wasn't coming across the map, it was somewhere around there. Stim is on the way. The main base, Spore Crawler, Lings, should be enough to deal with this. Bit of an annoying position, but not deadly. Another 2 medevacs on the way to follow this up. No engineering base. GuMiho building his command center on the low ground, which is a bit of a boon to his economy as time goes on, but also confident that he's going to be able to keep the pressure on Solar, at least until that CC finishes. And I think he's right, with Stim finishing and more medevacs on the way. The one key concern here. Okay, they're the engineering base. Both players adding on the upgrades at their natural. Solar's going to have 30 or so second advantage. Maybe a little under that, but we'll see what GuMiho can get done with these first few medevacs here. No Baneling nest from In fact, wait, is Lair done? He hasn't started a Lair. This is a double Evo. It's full hatch tech here. Lair starts. So, 1 medevac of Marines, fine. Easy peasy. Queens with minimal energy can handle it. 3 medevacs of Marines? Now that's dangerous. GuMiho has an opportunity. Solar does not see it. Transfuse is already used. Oh, but wait, there's more! And the Queens were looking the other way! With no Banelings, this is not something... Yeah, Solar can't really deal with this, especially off Kree. GuMiho doesn't know there's no baneling nest. That's why he's kind of poking and prodding here. Just denying the 4th is already a win, especially since he's forcing out these banes. He's limiting the economy through forcing units out of Solar. And, of course, denying the 4th. A scan, gonna spot the banelings. He can probably target 1 or 2. Gotta be careful here. Gets out. GuMiho doing a great job of managing Solar's economy. And also, very key, the creep spread. He's right on the edge of that creep. He didn't nail the 1-1 timing, I don't think. He's about a minute behind, a little bit under a minute behind. Which is not an insignificant number. The Queen's gone down, loses 1 medevac. They'll expect some of us in the wreckage, brothers. The Marines with it. Overall, though, getting... Oh, just 1 Queen. Yeah, it looks good for GuMiho here, but the other story is how Solar now is going to have that upgrade advantage. Starts 2-2 immediately. You can't queue it up, but he was probably staring at the evolution chambers. Alright, a single tank, 1 on the high ground. Baneling speed not done. GuMiho headed north. Brandon in the tank. Oh, the reinforcements. 2 tanks. Is that enough Marines? It might be. It is. Oh, Solar stuck at the door. The Marines hold their ground, and GuMiho now has a lot less to contend with on the other side of the map. The Marines are targeting the hatch, trying to get behind the lines. Baneling speed done in 1 second, but GuMiho's able to pick up and get out. That tank in a nasty position, firing over the top of the plateau. Almost impossible to get us around on. Only a single tank, but those banelings... Oh, the base itself! He's just gonna kill the hatch! The Marines just gun through it! The 4th hatch down. Solar, not another backup one. A panic on the other side of the map, and GuMiho is tearing it up right now. The Queens, he gets the Overlords. 1, 2 Queens. Only 3 left over. Not enough to take down the medevacs. Another set of medevacs on the right flank. Solar scrambling. The Lings looking for the surround. Target firing drones. Gets them. Most of the Marines survive. GuMiho, okay, maybe you want to go a little further with that, but 13 drones down and a 4th base. GuMiho has taken a bit of maybe an even or slightly behind position economically, and is now firmly grasping the lead. He has more workers, he's got a 4th command center, and he just accidentally lifted his orbital. We've all been there. Okay? We've all been, just making it fair. It happens to the best of us. Oh, a little slippery. Those banelings have to come around the corner. This happened, deja vu. This happened to Solar last week on this map. Byun working that disgusting tank position. In fact, may have inspired GuMiho, or maybe it's just something all the Terrans do, and I'm dumb. The army supply still looking good for GuMiho. He's got to wait out that 2-2 upgrade, because right now Solar does have the advantage, which makes those Lings and Banes. Upgrades in Zerg versus Terran, especially in like Marines versus Ling Bane, this is probably the most important matchup for upgrades in the game, like the basic upgrades. The sheer amount of damage, both splash and direct, going out for both sides makes a huge difference. Those Carapace upgrades can be the difference between Banelings touching the Marines and the Marines standing their ground. Everything matters. So without 2-2, GuMiho, he doesn't want to take a decisive fight until he's at least even. Is there a hive on the way? Hive is done. So, no is the technical answer. 3-3 starts, though, for GuMiho first. Which, why does Solar not have 3-3? Solar is just under so much pressure he didn't start 3-3. He has the money. He just doesn't have the larva. And there's just so much going on. He got +1 ranged attack on the way, I guess. And he's losing Oh my god, Medivacs. Let's go to the GuMiho action cam. He's got Medivacs at the natural. He's got Medivacs at the third. The banelings are coming in. Target fire, picks up, gets out. Another base, targeted down. Another base, almost dead. Rotates to the natural. He's back, more damage. Medivac still intact. Target fires the banelings. Tanks unseen, moving forward, scans for creep. Medivac picked up and got out at least one. More target fire, gutting down drones. A surprising amount of focus on these 3 Marines. Another scan for creep. GuMiho is all over the place, and Solar is incapable of keeping up. There are lurkers on the way, but lurkers are kind of a finishing move. Wait, what? I lied. There are no lurkers on the way. For some reason, I got ranged attack mixed up. He just started a lurker den. Solar has no light at the end of this tunnel. There's nothing that's going to finish or happen that's going to make this better. He's just got to hope for a great fight, and I don't know how he's going to get it. A drop, another set of army at the front. More drops than a Skrillex album and a stronger push than anything Solar can deal with. Oh, the Vipers. There you go. I neglected to mention those, as I didn't notice them, and neither did GuMiho. The blinding clouds are good, and that will keep Solar alive. But at what cost? GuMiho still has 30 more army supplies, still gonna finish 3-3 quicker. In kind of a reverse of the previous games, GuMiho's economy is untouched. You can win the battle, but the war is still very much gonna be difficult. 1 Viper down. Second Viper survives. Parasitic Bomb splits the Medivac away, so it wants to come back and help. Maybe not until you're better. GuMiho with a beautiful spread. And honestly, some top-tier tactics. That is, he didn't sit back and turtle the ghost. He's had a Ghost Academy for 2 games in a row, and he's built 0 ghosts. So, so far, GuMiho just the action Terran that we deserve. And Solar, I'm not even sure where Solar's going wrong. Honestly, I think you have to, I feel like against that sort of Terran, you gotta go Mutas. And I know how badly Mutas went in game 1, but I feel like, not like rush Mutas, but I feel like the army should be Mutas, not Hydras. But you need something to stop the drops. So. Well, game 5. 4. Stargazers. A spicy map for sure. I really think you do need mutas on this one. Like, if GuMiho, Data C is not a particular, like, it's not a air-to-air map. It's not one of those maps that's closer by air than by ground. And GuMiho was still really working the Medivacs. If you don't have something to shut it down here, it's only going to be worse. That or some sort of early game pressure, of course, but... Wow, GuMiho is playing some like... I did not expect this coming in, because Solar beat Byun last week. Similar style. Besides that Moondance game, which whatever that was from GuMiho. That was GuMiho finishing his daily quests, okay? It's like build 2 fusion cores. Okay, have Combat Shield and Blue Flame done at the same time. Do 3,000 damage with Hellbats. I've been playing too much Apex Legends. Build a Ghost Academy in 3 different maps. Use Tactical Jump. Alright, got those out of the way, and now we're playing the rest of the series. At risk of potentially alienating some people, I advocated heavily for daily quests in SC2. Back before, even before the game went free to play, it was clear it was going to happen eventually. But myself, and I'm not the only one, many other content creators and even pro players were like, give people a reason to play multiplayer. Like, even unranked or whatever. Like, give them a reason besides potentially getting ranked into the wrong league and losing MMR and feeling horrible. Like, and what would you get? That's a good question. Like, they were very against this. It was pretty much a that's never gonna happen, but essentially the Heroes of the Storm currency, where you have like a currency, like you get minerals or something, like, or terrazine for finishing a game, and then you can use that to buy skins for units or whatever, or announcer packs or something like that. But since StarCraft 2 started out in a box you buy for $60, it was a long reach to turn it into even a free-to-play game, as opposed to your usual freemium games that almost all major games are nowadays. Yeah, Solarite. Your normal currency is minerals, and then you can buy Solarite to get skins. Have you guys heard of Solarite? Customer service representative Carrix would like to tell you all the benefits of getting Solarite. Solarite. When you need to develop the plot and you're not entirely sure how to actually develop a character, invent Solarite. Solarite will now solve all your problems in an ancient warship everyone somehow forgot about until almost everyone died. Solarite. Check it out to Fusion Core! Okay, he's upgrading. This is GuMiho. He's faking. It's a fake concuss. Wait, he might actually. No. He's not going concussive. It's a fake. He's gonna cancel it. He's gonna build Battlecruiser. I mean, like, he has to wait till he finishes the fusion core. But this is your more typical Battlecruiser opener. This is your more, all right, I'm moving on with my life. Like, I don't know what I meant by moving on with my life. Like, I'm gonna grow up. I'm gonna buy myself a Battlecruiser. I'm gonna cruise around town. Okay. I'm old now. I can't stop and aim. I just fire while moving. Is he actually gonna run by? That almost never happens in pro games because it's almost always a trap. But I actually think he could have gotten in with that. Solar was a little out of position. But why risk it? The part of the, like, you're not trying to kill necessarily drones with the Hellions. The Hellions are here to draw the queens out of position so the Battlecruiser can jump in and do real damage. Like, if you lose the Hellions, even if you kill even maybe 10 drones, which is optimistic, well then there's nothing to really draw the queens away. So the Hellions are more valuable alive as opposed to something to kill drones. A jump. Dunks into the main. The Spore retreats. Only one Spore has to burrow. Already kills. The Hellion still threatening. Solar splitting his queens. Oh, GuMiho. This is already bad for Solar. Look at the worker count. 60 to 55. And the Hellions! Ah, whose wall is it anyways? The Hellions come in. The Battlecruiser, like, it's almost like they're just two different players here. The Battlecruiser cruises on by. Hellions got a few kills, but the Battlecruiser's the real threat here. Honestly, kind of a waste of the Hellions, but... Oh, everybody stop. Everybody stop. Out. Get out. Get out. All right. This build is so disgusting that one of the casters rage quit. But I'm here. I'm bringing you the whole story. So make sure to like and subscribe. I power through. The queens are chasing, but all the queens can do is take chips off the paint of that flying laser bathtub here. The knitting needles barely break against the armor. Another Battlecruiser jumps in. It's not getting better for Solar. And Solar had like 10 queens, but he's getting cyber bullied with the best of them. And that is pretty much... Oh, Hellbat! Hellbats have arrived. And in this case, those Hellbats not gonna... The Battlecruiser in the main. The Spore Crawler, he's just shrugging it off. The Hellbats are making things insanely difficult. Solar with a counter attack. There's already Hellions back at home. Battlecruiser still going. 12 kills. Feels like a lot more. The second Battlecruiser, what? Did he select all arm? God, GuMiho. Back to the shipyard. He just jumps out. And it's time for the Hell Clones. Which actually makes a lot of sense because the likely follow-up is Corruptors here. Which the Hell Clones can easily deal with. So overall, not a game-ending amount of damage. But GuMiho is solidly in the lead. He has a comfortable advantage. He has more workers. He's got full map control. All Solar can do is pray for counterattacks. Like, I don't know. Like, what could Solar have done better? Blindly build a Spire? I don't know. Remember, GuMiho did the least effort fake possible. He did the concussive shells to convince Solar he was upgrading Stim and going Bio. So Solar only built one Spore on each base. And one Spore does not cut it. 2 Spores don't really cut it, but they get a little closer. The only thing that cuts it is Corruptors. Unfortunately, though, the Corruptors as a response are much less effective than having them by the time the Battlecruisers really get out in force. Hellbat's just chilling. Like, we got Magfield Accelerator, we got Yamato Cannon, we got Blue Flame, we got another Armory, more Command Centers. Technically, Solar's also getting things, but they're much more sad. We got +1 melee, +1 ranged, +1 flyer. Only halfway done Bane speed. Infestation Pit is now on the way. Oh yeah, it's a mech, by the way, Solar. Barracks is being rebuilt because he might want an orbital. Those were scouting cyclones. Well done. Good scout. Totally. Brenda, where are you going? So, units will go the closest possible path they can walk. They don't factor in exactly how fast they'll get there. This is never more apparent than when your queens decide to join the Cyclones in scouting. Oh my god. Those +1 Blue Flame Hellbats just immolating the drones. Few things in the game are more satisfying than when you get the right upgrades for Hellions. I will say, like, roasting those drones, you be grilling while I be chilling. Smart servos on the way. GuMiho, the Industrial Revolution. He's got 7 factories. What a literal production line. Oh, and the queens are... How do you fight this? The Corruptors are here to, what, watch? Well, oh my god. Who called in the fleet? I don't even think the Corruptor... Like, a Yamato volley will knock out more than enough Corruptors to just win the fight. Fire the broadside, GuMiho. I can't believe he didn't fire off the Yamatos. Yeah, Solar kind of panicking, building more Corruptors. 9 Corruptors against 5 Battlecruisers? No, the numbers spell disaster for Solar. He doesn't even have a hive for Vipers. Infestation Pit, no pathogen glands. Solar has a literally uphill battle here. He has 90 drones, he's got a lot of bases. He's got to fight as much as possible before GuMiho closes the distance. Obviously, you can't lose the whole army, but he can't let GuMiho get close because there's no recovering. Yamato. Just to show he can. He hits a roach. That's almost disrespectful. Mr. Totoro over here can't handle it. How disrespectful GuMiho's being with those Battlecruisers. He has to leave the game to maintain his honor. I will stay, though, just for you guys. The tank, oh my god. That cinematic tank push here. GuMiho marching forward. The Battlecruisers covering the tanks as they grind through the creep. not being passive, but no sense of urgency here. Broadside fired on the Corruptors, and he jumps away. Well, I don't think he needed to jump them all the way. That wasn't that many Corruptors. Like, wasn't that scary. I don't even think he lined up. Oh, I guess he killed 5. They were kind of stacked up. Oh my god. Well, we've turned this into a half-map scenario, but it does feel like GuMiho has a bit... Even though Solar has a larger bank, it really does feel like it's on Solar to figure out how to deal with this. Some more Yamatos. He just used the tactical jump, so this is actually one of the worst fights he could have taken with the Battlecruisers. The thing is, though, with a tank line, the checkerboard tanks here, unsieges. 4 more starports with a space for add-ons. What flavor are they going to be? Come on, GuMiho. Give me the tech labs. He's moving forward with his tanks. He's busy doing that right now. Give me the tech labs, GuMiho. You know what I want. Meanwhile, the gold base trying to be taken, but a command center landing. The classic. Well, here comes a pretty significant fight. The Cyclones, though, easily a counter to uncontested Corruptors. GuMiho. Yeah, tech labs! 4 more tech labs. So, tech labs are not for Vikings. They're not for Liberators. I mean, technically they could be for Ravens. I don't think they're for Ravens. There are a handful of Broodlords on the way. Broodlords, not a horrible counter at all to Cyclone Siege Tank. They really do dismantle things. But Yamato on the Broods. 1 shot, 1 kill. Battlecruisers in production. Like, 5 the Pentacruisers. He's building 5 Battlecruisers at a time. Well, and he's sending the SCVs because they're just wasting supply he could spend on Battlecruisers, which is not going to make Solar a very happy Zerg. It almost feels like GuMiho's just taking his time. He's like, oh my god, I finally get to build this many Battlecruisers in a real game. Well, there's another volley, the Corruptors. Parasitic Bomb is annoying, but can be repaired. The Lings and Banes, the tank count has dwindled. But, of course, if the anti-air is not there, the Battlecruisers can just clean up the entirety of the ground. A Broodlord down. No ghosts required. The Quadra Lock. Just... the Broodlord's just gone. The reinforcing cruisers. Yamato knocks out a Corruptor. Another Battlecruiser jumps away, not too far. Still in the fight to defend against the ground. Another one jumps. And none of them bite the dust. Okay. Moving on. They can be repaired. Oh, what a fantasy Terran fleet we have here. This is Bronze League Heroes, except it's the Korean Open Cup Finals with 2 of the best players in the world. GuMiho building Battlecruiser Tank Thor. He's just right-clicked across, except for a couple Yamatos he throws into the mix. He's got the numbers. He's got everything he needs. Solar can't stop this. There's not enough anti-air. There's not enough anti-ground. And GuMiho, in commanding fashion, turns the tables, avenges Byun last week, and he takes it 3-1. GuMiho, a clear and decisive victory. Well, I hope you enjoyed. Check out some more videos like this one. Jimmy, put it up there. And yeah, we're gonna be looking for more GuMiho. So, how do you stop the Battlecruisers? If the Battlecruisers were a rock band from the 90s, what would they be? I know my demographic. Well, I hope I made your day a little bit better. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you for watching. Good luck. Have fun. I'll see you next time. Stay tuned.